Tomorrow marks the 60th day of U.S. involvement in war in Libya. That's the amount of time that the War Powers Act, a federal law, allows the president a limited role in deploying troops to a combat zone without congressional approval. The White House still says we're not at war. Now it's up to the Congress to decide. Joining me now is Tennessee Republican Congressman John Duncan. Congressman Duncan is the co-sponsor of the War Powers Reform Act of 2011, which would limit the president's leeway in ordering operations like Libya. Congressman Duncan, it's a pleasure. Welcome back to Freedom Watch.
Well, thank you for having me back, Judge. As you know, I was a circuit court judge in Tennessee for 7.5 years, and I certainly admire and respect you. But I'll tell you, the American people are sick and tired of these endless, permanent wars. They feel, I think an overwhelming majority of the American people feel that it's time to stop rebuilding Iraq and Afghanistan and start rebuilding the U.S.
I understand that you and colleagues have introduced legislation to sharpen, to refine the War Powers Act, to make it clearer as to what the president can do and what the president can't do. But at the present time, Congressman Duncan, it's that Nixon-era law, which President Nixon vetoed, by the way, as you know, which governs the president.
I know
and that law says tomorrow the president must report to the Congress and ask the Congress's permission to stay in Libya any longer. The House is not in session. Do you expect the president to make this report tomorrow?
Well, the president, in fact, several presidents have been sort of ignoring the Congress in regard to foreign policy, and particularly into the war-making power that is given to the Congress in the Constitution. And so I think it's time for the Congress to reassert itself. And you know, we haven't been declaring war, but we've sure been involved in wars. And I'll tell you, I think it's a bad thing, because I don't think that the people of this country, and certainly our Constitution, doesn't envision having some type of military dictatorship in this country.
Congressman, why does the Congress look the other way? I mean, it's one thing for the president, and as you said, a lot of presidents have done this. This is not just a rap on Barack Obama. I think every post-war president has done this. It's one thing for the president to start a war on his own and claim he did it for national security. They all say that. It's another thing for the Congress to roll over and let him do that. He is effectively taking the power that the Constitution gave to the Congress away from the Congress and claiming it for himself. And only the Congress can take that back. Will this Congress, this Republican House of Representatives, take that power back from him?
Well, Judge, I hope so. You know, I feel that national defense is certainly the most legitimate and most important function of the federal government. On the other hand, the Pentagon has been very good at exaggerating the threats that we've been in. I voted for the first war in Iraq, for instance, and then I saw the Saddam Hussein's so-called elite troops surrendering to camera crews or empty tanks. And the same things happened in Libya. You know, Al-Qaeda, for instance, the CIA head says is down to 50 to 100 members in Afghanistan, and certainly Libya is no real threat to us either. And I think the people really are at their end concerning this hyper-interventionist foreign policy that we've allowed our presidents to follow.
You are fighting for the Constitution, Congressman Duncan. Please keep up the fight. Thank you for joining us.
We're going to try. Thank you.